Mhm. Hello and welcome. This is Crossing Bridges Talk Show. I'm your host, Larry Montgomery Sr. This is my co host, William. William, introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. I'm William Montgomery. Pleasure to be here.
He's back from on scene.
Yeah.
He's going to give us a quick report on what the event was last week and how it turned out.
Well, last week I was invited to a uh, housewarming slash birthday celebration slash memorial celebration. The housewarming was for my cousin. The birthday was for her mother, my aunt, and the memorial service was for my grandmother, their mother and grandmother that had passed away back in 2004. So my aunt's birthday was on the 14th, and my grandmother's birthday was on the 15th. So we celebrated all on the 13th last week. So it was a great occasion. A lot of family was there.
Okay, works for me. I found a thing I'm trying to manipulate here while I'm looking at you on Facebook the other day. A friend of mine put it up, something short, and there was something else that I told you I was going to get for you last week. But let me put this up first. This is a post. It says, "Did you know that Psalm 118 is the middle chapter of the entire Bible? Psalm 117, which comes before Psalm 118, is the shortest chapter in the Bible. Psalm 119, which obviously comes after 118, is the longest chapter in the Bible. The Bible has 594 chapters before Psalm 118, and it has 594 chapters after Psalm 118. I'm coming to a point here. If you add up all the chapters except Psalm 118, you get a total of 1,188 chapters. 1,188 or 118 verse 8 is the middle verse of the entire Bible. Last point. Should the central verse not have an important message? It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in man. That's Psalm 118:8. Is that amazing?
Yep.
That blessed me this morning. Now, let me see as I'm sitting here talking to you, because I wanted to make sure that, what is that? I had, it was a picture I had said I had found on Facebook. Sometimes you find good stuff there. And I tried to put it somewhere obviously safe that I'd be able to find it. And you know what happens when you put something away that's safe? You can never find it again. And let me just scroll down here real quick to see if I can find it. Because obviously I forgot what I titled it, and that's always been a problem. You know, I can't even think of what I titled it, because I would just search it. And but as I'm trying to do that, what is the topic that we have for this week? Do you remember?
I do not, unfortunately.
The topic is, if you hit the lotto, what would you do with the money? That's kind of unusual for us, but I think it's something we could chat about a little bit.
Yeah.
So what's your thought on that while I'm still scrolling here?
Well, if I won the lottery, but what I do with the money.
That's what. Mhm.
Well, luckily, in this day and age, I'm not as youthful as I used to be, because I would have been a lot more foolish in my younger years. If you would ask me this question, I'd have been like, "Man, I'm gonna buy everything." But um, but actually, like what I would do is, one, because I know that it's a temporary thing. To win it, to hold on to that money is kind of, it's probably not going to happen as far as, but being able to figure out how to invest it so that money will work for me and grow, so
Mhm.
that it'll last longer than just the instant win. Because most people that win the lottery, they're usually broke within a year. And I was like, that's not good. That doesn't work for me. So uh,
Mhm.
no matter what, I mean, if it's a substantial amount of money, if it was $10 in the lottery, of course I'll be doing the same thing within a day. I'm sorry, but
Uh,
if it was like if it was like $1 million or more, I would seriously try to figure out how to um, make that money grow, and be able to live off the interest or something like that.
how would you do that? I can't find it.
Something I came across in the last couple of weeks. Um, I don't know. A lot of people know about stocks. Excuse me, but there's in stocks, you have some stocks that pay dividends, um, and there's some, if you have enough stocks, they pay a monthly dividend, and you can pretty much live off that if you have the right stocks in the right amount. So that would probably be one way I do it, and then I can spend all the money each month and not have to worry about running out of it.
Okay. Um, I think it's a good question to ask, because a lot of people, well, one thing we do know about the lottery, it's legal. Secondly, and more importantly, that in order to win it, you have to be in it.
Hmm.
And I think the third point is, if I don't win it, I certainly should not sit around and expect that if you want it, you're going to pick up the phone and call me and say, yo, listen, I just hit for $1 million. I'm going to send you 25 grand,
Mm.
50 grand, 100, something, something for you. That
Mm.
usually, I don't see that happening, because money comes, the thing that really clouds your mind. You're focused on it. I got to do this, I got to do that. You're not really thinking about anybody else but you, and that's okay. So the point is, if you're gonna play the lottery, fine. If you do, if you don't, fine. But have a budget. Doesn't have to have any numbers in it, but you could be optimistic and say, I hit for $1 million, this is what I'm gonna do. I hit for $10, this is what I'm gonna do. I hit for $10, I'm probably gonna buy another ticket. That's usually what happens.
Hmm.
I hit for $25, I'm probably gonna do something else and then buy another ticket. So whatever.
Reinvest.
Yeah, reinvest. That's a good point. But when we put together our little budget, whether it's for the lottery or for our daily lives, we need to think about some things and make sure that some things are fixed in the budget. And there may be some things that are, variable,
Hmm.
come up and change. That things variable might be entertainment money. If I got money this week, I can get entertained. I don't have any money, can't get entertained. But the name is still in the budget, though. I still have that to look at. So as I thought about what I would do, I struggled with how much I would give, not how much I would give to the church, but I struggled with which church would I give it to.
Mm.
See, right now we don't have a home church.
Mm.
It's something that I'm sure the Lord is going to work out. But even if I was at the home church that we were at, I kind of struggled with, if I had gotten a lot of money, would I put it there?
Mm.
And you love your pastor and whatever, and all the people in the church is good because you're all trying to come together and do the right thing. But then money makes you think sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you overthink, sometimes you underthink.
Mm-hmm.
But those things that you can think about, so if I'm hanging with you, you're my boy, we cool, and I've got a lot of money here, and you got none. So what am I going to do? Do I just give you some money and say you be all right, or do I think and say, well, giving them some money, that's like buying them dinner. He's going to eat that up and he'll be hungry in the morning. So if I invest in him, like, you could always be Uber driver, so buy your car. Okay. So now, yeah, you might be riding around like, yeah, I got it like that because my boy done hooked me up. But then really, say, listen, I'm buying you this car so you can get yourself some work. Be a delivery, drive people around, taxi, Uber, whatever. Okay, so that's something to think about, But now back to the church. You say, well, my boy here, I want to hook him up. And I've known him for years. He ain't never came through. He in the same condition he was in last year, 10 years ago. But he's still my boy. You all right? Same thing with your church. You got to look at it and say, wait a minute. And I'm not saying, well, it's all everybody else's issue, because you in the church and you need to be about everything that the church is into. So where were the programs and the gifts and the things like that there the church is doing to help people in need? Is it the folks that sit in the congregation saying, well, look, some people walking by the church every week, I know they got their little shopping cart and they homeless or whatever. Anybody here ever think about maybe helping to get a job? Or do we just sit here with our hat cocked to the side and our shirt collar pressed down and our shoes shine and look at them and say, man, that look hard out there. Life is rough. Yeah. God bless you. Bless you. Mm-hmm. And so back to the lotto thing. I struggle with that. Who would what church would I give my portion to? I got to break God off his little piece, whatever it might be, since he blessed me with it.
Mm-hmm.
But why would I throw my pearls at the swine? Swine meaning those people who has sit there and watched people suffer. Oh man, that look rough over there, man. When you be out the garbage can, you ain't got no steak. It's not good. So the whole point of the lottery thing is, if you win, and like they do say, about a year later you're gonna be broke again. Why not do the right thing before that year gets here? And try to help somebody. I'm not saying waste and give it.
Mm-hmm.
Help them.
Yeah.
Like I said, the simple thing. Guy need a job. You got a driver's license. Get you a car. Whatever. Single mom or something like that. There, she's struggling. Maybe get her an apartment, pay the rent for a month, for a year. If you got it like that. If you're gonna buy them a house, they got to pay rent, but you make it affordable. Say, look, the first 2 or 3 years you're only paying $200-300 a month, and then you got to get market rate. After that, because you got that whole month or year to figure it out and find a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's pretty, people think that, my tithe should be 10%. Now, if you really read the Bible, when we talk about tithes, 10% is not the number.
Hmm.
Realistically, if you look at what God was asking for, first fruits like that there, and your regular tithe, and then special gifts, you wind up putting 23% into the church.
Hmm.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, when you really look at it, and if you're a true believer, it's not a problem, because you wouldn't have that money in the first place if he didn't bless you to be able to get it.
Hmm.
So you're just giving back what was given to you. And you could keep a little bit of something to do whatever you want with. Tithing now is based on what's in your heart. You don't have to give 10%. You give 5%, 1%. You give it all. It's up to you. Whatever strikes your heart on Sunday, if you only go on Sundays, or whenever you go, you should bring something. Even if it's only a prayer of good cheer for someone else. I'm having a tough day. Life pretty much is rough. But for you, I wish God's blessings on, earnestly. But why didn't you pray for yourself? You look like you're having a hard day. Well, maybe you could pray for me. Maybe your prayer will get through. I'm praying every day for me, but it still was rough. So maybe do a boomerang type thing, trick God. Say, listen, I was praying for him. Hey, help him. Because then, if I helped you, what would you do? Help me back?
Possibly.
There you go. See how it works?
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, we'll get back to that. Now, I did find that post from the other week, and you have to think this, imagine this in your mind. It's a picture of a woman getting out of what looks like a little pool, okay, in a garden. All right. She don't have any clothes on. Okay. And she's like, like you step out of the bathtub and you see somebody that you expect to be there. You're like, one of those looks. That's the kind of look she's got on her face. So now let me read the statement that they have there. Excuse me. Hold on. My iced coffee, it's just ice ain't doing it good enough. Okay. The lie said to the truth, let's take a bath together. The well water is very nice. The truth, still suspicious, tested the water and found out it really was nice. So they got naked and bathed. But suddenly, the lie leapt out of the water and fled, wearing the clothes the truth had on. The truth, furious, climbed out of the well to get her clothes, that's what it says, back. But the world, upon seeing the naked truth, looked away with anger and contempt. Poor truth returned to the well and disappeared forever, hiding her shame. Since then, the lie runs around the world dressed as the truth, and society is very happy because the world has no desire to know the naked truth. And you ponder that for a moment. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, happens every day.
Yep.
You know, and people, but let me hear what you have any thoughts you want to express? Or,
Yes. Because I mean, it's like a revelation, because when you think, if somebody, for example, if my breath stinks and I'm talking to my friends or whatever, my so-called friends, and nobody tells me that my breath stinks, you know, I'm going on, I'm having a great day. But as soon as somebody has it feels like it's important to let me know that my breath stinks, and they come and tell me, I'm mad at them. Because like, who do you think you are telling me that my breath stinks? You know what I'm saying? Nobody really wants to hear the truth, because the truth does hurt, but the truth, we do need our truth so that we can fix the problem. You know, and that's just something that just popped in my head right there.
When you say the truth hurts, the truth really, I don't want to use the word hurt. But
Okay.
I have your point.
I understand.
I want to make sure that people understand that it's not the truth hurting you. It's the breaking away of the wrong, of the lie.
Yes.
What hurts, because you got comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You walk around here talking and chipping and chatting and everything, and your breath stank like who knows what. And you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody around there talking about, oh my God, I can't, please, I gotta go. But then the one person comes and say, yo, bro, hey.
Want a Tic Tac?
Hold that thought, you know. And now you mad at him.
Mm-hmm.
Who you to tell me my breath stank? You the breath police?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to help you get that lie off of your head, because the truth is out there. Your breath stank.
And all those people that didn't tell you, you thought were your friends, but they're over there laughing at you behind your back. Yep. And that's what be happening.
Right. And you going around thinking that, life is good, you got sweet breath, and that ain't the truth. So, and again, because we've had the conversation about being honest with people, and I'm not going to say it's a skill or a learned skill, but in our society, the world that we work in, we have to understand that for me, there's a time and a place to give you that truth. Now, to tell you about your breath, I really can't say that in the midst of a crowd. Yo, his breath stank. I thought you was all right. But so the time and the places, come here, let me tell you something. Now you might not be as mad, you may feel uncomfortable, but you'll probably say, oh yeah, okay, you got a Tic Tac? Yeah, okay. Something like that. But was that a true friend? They stopped and they took into consideration the overall picture. You out there in front of the crowd talking, and everybody, I'm with you. Your good friend said, yo, come here, let me tell you something. But then the other friends, the ones that are good timing friends, they gonna sit there and say, yeah, you're right.
Sitting there tearing.
or fainting one. Rather faint than to tell you, "Oh, your breath has got to go, boy." And so, but the truth is the truth, and then sometimes the truth just hurts. I mean, look, we've talked about some things and some issues off camera, whatever, and not to go into any detail. But if I'm talking to someone else, about a situation or something, see, we come up with one that one of their close peoples, is floundering. They ain't focused on reality for whatever reason. Some of us, we might be 21 years old and still thinking like we 13.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just didn't click yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're trying to give them advice. Look, you need to do so and so. You should do this or whatever. Consider that or whatever. But you got to get a result. Now, I might have a suggestion, whatever that makes sense, because I've been around a long time. I've seen a lot of situations, and some things, sometimes you can't see the truth, for the lie in front of you. But you're thinking everything is good. Your breath don't stink. Well, you take your head off, put it, yeah, okay, now it does. All right, but getting the head off is the problem. And so my point to this person is you got to get a grip on. You got to. Sometimes you help the little one, the one who's got the issue, by pushing them off out the nest. You got to get out. Yep. Now the eagle will tell you straight up. It's time for the little eagles to fly. Everybody got to get to flying. And what they do? Chirp, chirp, chirp. I ain't going nowhere. I'm saying it's warm here. They bring me my food on time. And then the eagle just like looks at me and says, "It's time to go. I mean, you got to get up out of here." You know what they do? They start taking the nest apart.
Okay.
And now all of a sudden it's like, chirp, chirp, chirp. Where my bed? Where the TV? Chirp, chirp. Where the food? It's cold. Yeah, and then there's no more nests. And then the eagle says, "I gotta go." You ain't even gonna have company.
Figure that out for yourself.
You have to figure this out on your own in the field, because no food, no heat, and no me. Now what? If you don't figure it out, guess what?
You ain't gonna make it.
I will not know anything about it because I just left. So most people figure it out, even while they falling. If they can find another nest on the way down, great. If they don't, they start to see the earth in all its glory, and they start to flapping. Hey, I got something. And they flying.
Ain't no redos for that one.
Right. I got hungry. It was cold. But some of them, until you pull that nest out from under their butt, they're going to sit right there like they're entitled to. There was a post on Facebook this morning about a woman sleeping in her car, owns a house, got a tenant in the house. And because they figured out, if I call to the court, if I go down to the court and get a restraining order against you, you're going to have to move out. And they ain't even going to think about the fact that it's your house. Now, I'm the tenant, you the homeowner, I ain't paying you, and you ain't figured out how to get me out. Now, you sleeping in your car, and I'm sleeping in your house. You still paying the mortgage. Now you figure that one out. Like I said about the eagle. You want to get him out? Take that nest apart. And then leave them sitting right there. I guarantee you 99 out of 99 out of 99% of the time, they will figure it out. And then they'll call you and say, man, if you hadn't done that, I would have never figured it out. Because I swore to God, I was right.
Well, I need to add something. I mean, when you say take it apart, I know you don't mean literally, but you know, we might have people watching. They might think, I'd burn this thing down.
Well, you don't.
Yeah, we don't want to.
But see, now I'm not saying you do that. But the reality is, you could burn it down as long as you don't try to collect the insurance.
I mean, it still would be a problem because it still would be technically against the law to burn something. But I would say sell it. I mean, you mentioned something before about selling it, because once you sell it, it's somebody else's problem. Hey, got a house here for sale. It's got a tenant in there. You get your money, you go buy something else, and they come in like, "What? You ain't paying no rent?" They kick them out. Your problem solved because you living somewhere else.
Right. A lot of people will sell a house and you still in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the new landlord comes, the new owner comes, you be like, "Oh, I didn't know anything about this." You ain't here, so you shouldn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the door. Hit it on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you know, you get the wrong kind of landlord in this. You be glad to get up out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
buried in the basement, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you know,
they call a friend of ours.
Yeah, you know that what they call that post over there that holding up the roof there. Yeah, and it got smaller. Yeah, yeah, we filled it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway,
got some extra padding in there.
Yeah, decorative. But anyway, I mean, you know, and we've talked about some things, but you know, sometimes you really, in order to help somebody, you got to help them. You got to really help them. You know, this is the best. You know, even though I'm spanking your butt, it's hurting me more than it's hurting you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it do.
I mean, you want people to be successful on their own, and sometimes you know they need a nudge. Sometimes they need a push. Sometimes they need a
roof to fall in on their head before they figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people, I mean, you can't fix stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But some people just like, you know, they will take you there because they think they can take you there. Like you owed them something.
Yeah, like you make their life better.
Right. Trying to help you make your life better. You just don't know it yet, but you will figure it out when you get out there trying to flap around. You know, if you took them flying lessons like I was trying to teach you, you'd have been fine. You know, but no, you want to sit here. You want to sit here and chirp. Okay. Well, I don't know. You got anything else? Because we, you know.
Well, what I was going to say, like with your dilemma with, you know, your ties to the church, I would say I wouldn't limit it to one church. I would just go and give some to multiple churches, like, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there. That way, hey, you know what? My normal tithe here is this. Well, I'm going to go find 100 other churches and get that same amount to those churches so I can bless them churches. That way, I don't feel like I'm, you know, giving too much to one place that may not use it to the best of its ability and spread the wealth.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. It's really, I mean, you may feel that you don't know what people's motives are until they actually have an opportunity to express themselves. But if you're sitting there and you watching them, and you got no excuse.
Yeah.
But one alternative is to say, look, I got this money and I'm going to donate it to the church to do or for this specific reason. That reason might be to set up a food pantry. I want that money to be used to buy food, let's just say bread, every week until it runs out, and give the bread away. Okay. Well, the same people be coming every week to get bread. And your point is what?
Yeah, you didn't pay for it. I did. I'm
Right.
cool with it.
Right. And I gave it to him. I gave it to you to manage that part of it, and yeah, your time is worth something. Should I make a, portion of that money available to you for your time? I might say, look, I'm going to give you $10 to pay someone to give the bread away. Now, I didn't say you. I'm not saying you. Someone be paid to do that work. Okay. And that's it. So, I mean, you can structure your gift any way you want it. The thing is, the person accepting it has to accept all of the terms. Otherwise,
They ain't getting
And then sometimes, you have to just sit down and pray and ask God, say, look, I got this money or whatever. And sometimes it don't have to be a lot of money. It could be, let me tell you something. When people don't have any money, some money will help.
All the time.
Yep. So let's just say you senior and you know that your time is, coming to whatever, and you want to leave a gift to the church to manage whatever the money you have to be a blessing to someone. And you sit down and you have that conversation and you put it in writing and you have it witnessed. You have the attorney sign off on it. And then you start giving the money. It don't have to be a lump sum. It could be, you contribute this money once a month. And this is what I want you to do with it. So, I'll just give it to the pastor. He'll do so. Yeah, he might. Then again, he might not. If you've been sitting there watching him, if you've never seen him do that before, but he always said he would. Well, God is like this. You keep telling me about what you would do. I am not giving you nothing until you do. Okay. You say, if I had $10, well, you got one in your pocket. What are you going to do with that? You put the one on the table, I put the 9 there. What now? Oh, but if you gave me the whole 9, Lord, I'd be able to do something. No. I gave you 9 cents. Let me see what you're going to do with that.
Got to start somewhere.
That's it. Start somewhere. If I have to ask someone else to give me the money to do this, because I think that is something that, is on my heart to do this to help somebody else, then fine. Maybe eventually, someone will come along and say, look, you don't have to ask me anymore. I just give you the money to do it. Or I'll make a way for you to do it. I'll introduce you to someone who has the money, who wants to do that, but they don't have the time to do it.
Yep.
You're sitting there talking about, well, we could do this or we should do this or whatever. I've been in the churches where they talk about they want to help the community, and every time they open the door, they're looking for somebody to pay them. I said, well, now how does that work? Okay. Anyway, not here to complain about those kind of churches, because those churches you have to look at and say, look, is God here, or did he just go by? Anyway, okay, so we're 40 minutes into this.
Quick question. quick admin note.
All right.
Well, for our viewers, if you're liking the content, if you feel like adding to it by recommending a topic for us to discuss, please shoot us a message in the comment section, and we appreciate your viewing our show.
Or if you'd like to participate, send us your email address. Tell us what topic you're interested in chatting about. We'll see if we can schedule. We'll see when we can schedule you in. Until next time, God bless and thank you. And we'll see you next week if the creek don't rise and God's willing.
Amen.
Amen.
God bless.
Bless you.